So today we will start the unit number 3, that is the flexibility method. So we have discussed in the introduction of syllabus itself that unit number 1 and 2, that is slope deflection method and the moment distribution method. Unit number 1 and 2, these two methods are the classical method. Okay, classical method of analysis for indeterminate structure, that is unit number 1 and 2. So that's why these two methods are the classical method. And the unit number 3 and 4, that is the flexibility method and the stiffness method, that is as per our syllabus unit number 3 and 4, these two methods or these two units are called as the matrix methods. These two methods or unit are, it is called as the matrix method of analysis. Okay, means in these two method, unit number 3 and 4, so we have to apply the basic concept of matrices or basic concept of matrix to get the unknowns. Okay, so that is the difference between unit number 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So moreover, in all that 4 units, the unknowns will be same, means the problems will be same. We have to apply this method for the indeterminate structure, and we have to find out the moments, and accordingly we have to draw the superimposed BMD. Means question will be same, answer will be same. Somehow we are about 95% answer will be same, but the approach or method will be different. So basic fundamentals of each and every method will be different, that we have to study. Now we have to start with the unit number 3, that is the flexibility method. Okay, if you see the syllabus of flexibility method, so again as that of the previous units, so this unit, it is having the two chapters, we can say. The unit is divided into two chapters. First chapter, it is for the fundamental concept of flexibility, means basic funda of flexibility method we have to discuss. Then formulation of flexibility matrix. So as unit number 3 and 4, I have told these units are the matrix methods. So we have to implement the matrix operation to get the unknowns. And next we have to apply this flexibility method for the pin jointed plane truss. Okay, so in the first chapter here, we have to apply this method for the pin jointed plane truss, whereas in unit number N92 we have not applied that two classical method for the truss. Now here one structure or one element is added that we have to analyze, that is pin jointed plane truss. And this analysis of pin jointed plane truss, it will be same what you have studied in SA1. Okay, unit number 3 you have studied in SA1, that is for the analysis of pin jointed plane truss. Same concept, same fundamentals we have to apply here in this flexibility method. Means in short, the first chapter, it deals with the application of this method to the trusses, and the second chapter it deals with application of this flexibility method to the beams and rigid jointed portal frames. Okay, means in the first chapter we have to apply this method for the truss, and second we have to apply this method for the beam as well as frame. Okay, and in examination mostly they will give one numerical from the beam, and or numerical or question will be from the frame. So I think in same examination, only once they have asked the truss example, of course for 10 marks truss, and the or is there from the beam. For in same examination, question number 5 or 6, question number 5 or 6, it is based on the unit number 3. So they have asked the truss numerical, question number 5, and or question in that they have asked for the beam numerical. And other than that examination, means other than that August 2017, they have asked beam example and or will be frame. बीम आणि फ्रेम हेच विचारलेलं आहे, एकदाच त्यांनी ट्रस आणि बीम विचारलेलं होतं. दे आर ऑर. ओके, so truss, it is simple. So same analysis what you have performed in S7, same analysis we have to perform here. Same analysis आहे, त्यामध्ये काही change नाही. Okay, so syllabus unit chapter number 1, application to the truss. Chapter number 2, application to the beams and frame, in short. And no doubt starting with the basic fundamentals, we should have all the knowledge of basic fundamentals of this flexibility method. So in first session, we will discuss the basic fundamentals. What is actual flexibility is, what are the application, what are the basic concept, and then in afternoon session we will start with the first chapter. So we'll start with the basic. Now this flexibility method, it is also called as force method. Okay, this is also called as the force method, or it is also called as the method of consistent deformation. It is also called as the method of consistent deformation. And the common name is the force method because in this method, the unknowns are redundant forces. In this method, the unknowns are that we have to find out. These are the redundant forces. These are the redundant forces. Okay. Now the unknowns we have to select in this method. These are the redundant forces. Now tell me, what do you mean by redundant? Degree of redundancy. आठवतंय काही? Degree of redundancy. What is that degree of redundancy? SA1. Yes, anyone? Degree of redundancy आठवते काय असतो? Or the redundant force? Okay. What is DSI? DSI. DSI means what? Oh, yes. Degree of static indeterminacy. So what are the basic unknowns? Degree of static indeterminacy मध्ये आपण काय फाइंड आउट करतो? किंवा कसं फाइंड आउट करतो? Anyone? So degree of static indeterminacy. This term, it is also called as the degree of redundancy. Degree of redundancy. It is also called as the DSI. Okay. So that degree of redundancy or degree of static indeterminacy, these are nothing but the unknown forces. These are nothing but the unknown forces that we have to find out. These are the unknown forces, internal as well as external. Okay. Suppose the structure is there and the beam is there, suppose, and that is continuous beam. Now the structure you have to study in this particular SA2, all the structure are statically indeterminate, and if the structure is statically indeterminate, it will have the DSI. Suppose there are, for this particular case, there are 5 different unknown forces are there. 5 unknown forces. Okay. So out of 5, 3 you can find out using available equations, summation fx, fy and moment. But still there are 2 forces that you can't find out using available equations. So that's why for this particular beam, the DSI is 2. Means the degree of redundancy is 2. So that 2 forces we have to find out using the application of flexibility method. Means for any structure, what you get the DSI value, unknown forces value. So that forces we have to find out using this flexibility method. समजून घ्या. SA1 मध्ये आपण फक्त व्हॅल्यू फाइंड आउट केले DSI चं. The continuous beam is there and the DSI is R-3, that is 2. इथंच तुमचा SA1 संपला. Find out the value of DSI. So this is the value of DSI. But here in this SA2 next subject, or in this flexibility method, we have to find out that 2 forces. No doubt there are 5 forces are unknown, but 2 are DSI value. So that 2 forces we have to work out. जे अननोन 2 फोर्सेस आहेत ते आपल्याला वर्कआउट करायचे आहेत using this flexibility method. This is the core concept. The unknown DSI we have to work out using flexibility method. That is the core concept. Okay, so that's why this method, it is also called as the force method, because the unknowns are redundant forces. Unknown काय असतील आपले redundant forces असतील, and that unknown forces are depends on your DSI value. म्हणजे काय, what is the prerequisite? You should know what are the DSI and DKI also. In stiffness we have to find out the DKI. याचे तुम्हाला simple केसेसचे फॉर्म्युले माहित पाहिजे. Okay. So moreover, this flexibility method, it deals with the DSI. If the DSI is 2, means 2 forces are unknown, and that forces we have to find out using this flexibility method. So that's what is called as the force method. Okay, as it depends on the DSI calculation or DSI value. Now, the basic definition of flexibility. Flexibility. Now, if you see the term flexible, what do you mean by flexible? Flexible आहे म्हणजे काय असतं? Flexible. Oh. Suppose for better understanding what I will do, suppose there is a beam and this beam, it is of elastic material. For simple understanding, suppose this is the beam of rubber. This is beam of rubber and it is subjected to the external loading condition like this. This is subjected to the loading condition. What will happen? This is made up of rubber. काय होईल? Yes. What will happen if the elastic, purely elastic beam subjected to the loading condition? Yes. गोकुळ काय होईल? सांगा. कॅन्टिलिव्हर बीम आहे आणि सपोज दॅट कॅन्टिलिव्हर बीम इट इज मेड अप ऑफ रबर, नॉट कॉन्क्रीट, and it is subjected to the loading. तर काय होणार त्याचं? त्या बीमचं काय होईल? येस, काय होईल? ड्यू टू द लोडिंग कंडिशन. Due to the loading condition, that beam will have the displacement or that beam will have the deflection, and that deflection it will be somehow like this. Okay, so due to this loading condition, deflection will be like this. Suppose that is delta, means if any structure which is flexible one, or any structure in general, any body which is flexible one, it will have the deflection, or we can say it will have the displacement. In general, any body, it will have the more displacement, isn't it? More displacement, more displacement. Okay, so any body in general, now I'm not talking about the structural point of view, any body which is more flexible, it will have the more displacement, it will have the more displacement. Dancing करताना पण म्हणतो आपण काय flexible आहे, how nicely he or she is dancing, he or she is very flexible. Flexible means what? The displacement is more. Okay, what we can observe in a flexible body, the displacement constraint or displacement point is more. Okay, now so as flexibility will give the displacement, what we have to understood that flexibility, if there is a flexibility, so definitely there will be a displacement. Suppose delta is the displacement. समजते का बघा? Whenever we are considering the flexibility, so what point we have to consider, what we have to find out? We have to find out the displacement. We have to find out the displacement. Okay, now in case of beam, now back to our SA2, in case of beam, suppose this beam is flexible, it is subjected to the loading condition, and the displacements are, or it will have the deflection like this, and these are the deflection. So what are the displacement possible for this particular beam as it is flexible one? So there are two displacement. First will be the deflection and the second will be, yes, दोन डिस्प्लेसमेंट असतील बीम मध्ये. फर्स्ट इज द डिफ्लेक्शन अँड सेकंड विल बी SA1 मध्ये झालंय. One is the deflection and second is what? Anyone? Yes. One is the deflection, second is सांगा. डिफ्लेक्शन असेल तर काय असेल पुढे त्याचं दुसरा अननोन काय असेल? आवाज येतोय ना? एम आय ऑडिबल? महेश आवाज येतोय का?
हो सर.
ओके. हा, डिफ्लेक्शन असेल तर नेक्स्ट अननोन काय असेल? दॅट अननोन इज थीटा. Okay, due to the loading condition, so this beam it is having the displacement, and in case of beam the displacement given by the two parameters, first is the deflection, second is theta, and that theta is called as. आता सांगा theta काय असेल? What is theta? dy by dx काय असतं? dy by dx. Yes, that is slope. Theta is nothing but the slope. Means moreover, what we have to understood, in case of beam, due to the loading condition, if it is having the displacement, we have to work out on the two parameters. That is, first is deflection, second is slope. Okay, what we have considered right now, or what we have discussed right now, in case of flexibility, the primary unknowns are the displacement. Primary unknowns are the displacement. Okay, means we have to find out the flexibility, means we have to find out the displacement. We have to find out the displacement, and in case of beam, that displacement is nothing but our deflection and slope. Okay, so the definition of flexibility is, so what is flexibility? It is the displacement caused by unit force. Okay, displacement caused by unit force or unit movement. So in case of flexibility, we have to find out the theta. As we have discussed, we have to find out the displacement. In case of beam, that will be deflection or slope when your force is unity, when the given applied force is unity or 1. So that is the basic definition of flexibility. It is the displacement caused by unit force. Displacement caused by unit force means what? We have to find out the theta. We have to work out for the theta when our force is 1 kilonewton, when F is equal to 1. That is unity. Okay. And the flexibility and stiffness, unit number 3 and unit number 4, these are exactly opposite to each other. Flexibility and stiffness, these are inverse to each other. Okay, suppose in case of flexibility, we have to find out the displacement due to the unit force, so in case of stiffness, now next concept is for the stiffness. So it is the force or movement required for the unit displacement. Force or movement required for the unit displacement. Now see here, in case of flexibility, we have to work out for the displacement when force is unity or force is 1 kilonewton, and the stiffness is force required for the unit displacement. Means in case of stiffness, we have to find out the force. We have to find out the force when the displacement is unit. When the displacement is unit. Okay. Or the when the displacement is 1. That is the difference between flexibility and stiffness. Now these two concepts are exactly opposite to each other, so that's why flexibility and stiffness, these are inverse to each other. So flexibility is equal to 1 by stiffness, stiffness denoted by K. Okay, stiffness is denoted by K and flexibility denoted by small f. So flexibility is inverse of stiffness. So these are the basic definition. These are the basic definition. Means displacement caused by unit force. So flexibility will be displacement, suppose that is delta, caused by the unit force. Means flexibility is given by delta by P. समजून घ्या, flexibility is given by delta by P. Displacement caused by unit force. Now tell me, what is the stiffness then? If the flexibility is delta divided by P, then stiffness will be, stiffness काय असेल? Yes.
E by delta.
Yes, P by delta, correct. So your stiffness will be P divided by delta. That's it. So these are the basic concept of flexibility and stiffness. So in flexibility, the unknowns are displacement. So in stiffness, the unknowns are forces. We have to find out the force or moment for the unit displacement. Okay. Now flexibility is the inverse of stiffness that we have discussed. F is equal to 1 by K. So for simple understanding again, what we'll consider, we will consider one spring. This is the spring given. Okay. So for that spring, one end is fixed. One end is fixed A for that spring, and other end we have applied suppose axial load of P1, and that point is 1 point. So spring is there. For that particular spring, one end is fixed, other end is free. For that free end, we have applied the axial force of P1 kilonewton. Okay, at that ordinate one, at point B, we have applied the force P1. So due to that force, the corresponding elongation is suppose delta 1. Corresponding elongation at a point 1, it is delta 1, and the applied load is P1. Now tell me, what is the flexibility at this point 1? What is the flexibility at that point 1? Because at a point 1, applied load is P1 and the displacement caused is delta 1. And what is the definition of flexibility we are having? It is the displacement caused by unit force delta by P. Now in this case, what is the flexibility then? Castle, from the definition, how we can write flexibility F1 here? This is the displacement, this is the force. So F1 is equal to, yes, F1 is equal to displacement caused by unit force. So that's why flexibility is given by displacement delta 1 divided by applied force P1. This is the flexibility. Okay. So in general, you have studied delta by P, it is the flexibility, and P by delta, it is the stiffness. So in this case, what is the displacement? Delta 1 is the displacement. What is the force? P1 is the force. So that's why delta 1 by P1, this is the flexibility for this particular spring at a point 1. Okay. So this is the spring where one end is fixed, other end is free, and it is having the only 1 degree of freedom. So that movement is possible. It is only axial movement, or we can say elongation is possible. So the flexibility F can be determined as displacement at a 1, and that displacement is delta 1 due to the unit force at 1, that is P1. So the flexibility is given by delta 1 divided by P1, and the stiffness will be inverse to that. That will be P1 by delta 1. So this is the flexibility and this is the stiffness for this particular case. What is the case? Only 1 degree of freedom is possible. Means only axial displacement, फक्त horizontal displacement is possible आहे. But practically how many displacements are possible, इथं एकच दिलेलं आहे for understanding, but that is not the case. Practically, if I consider this particular point, suppose this is the fixed end and this is the free end, this is the free end. So how many translation, किती movement possible असतील इथं, किंवा displacement किती possible असतील? Point, suppose हा B point आहे, B point ला practically this is single degree of freedom spring घेतलं होतं, that's why 1. But practically how many displacements are possible? का असेल हा point B ला? डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम काय काय होईल त्या पॉइंटला? एकतर काय असेल, सेम वे त्याचं होरिझोंटल डिस्प्लेसमेंट होईल. यस आदित्य सांग. त्यानंतर त्यानंतर काय होणार सांगा? एक आहे होरिझोंटल डिस्प्लेसमेंट, दुसरं दुसरं काय होईल? Suppose this beam subjected to the loading condition, some random loading condition. So first it may have the horizontal displacement. Second काय असेल, it may have the vertical, yes, vertical or transverse displacement. आता सांग आणखीन काय पॉसिबल आहे. दोन्ही डायरेक्शनला डिस्प्लेसमेंट होईल, होरिझोंटल अँड व्हर्टिकल. थर्ड काय होईल. यस राधेश्याम, टेल मी व्हॉट इज द थर्ड डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम. काय असेल. One is horizontal displacement, second is vertical displacement, and third will be bending, flexural displacement. That will be third, and fourth is also there, but that is not in your syllabus. That will be twisting. So it may have the twisting effect. So likewise, so at free end we are having 4 degree of freedom, but here for understanding we have considered only 1 degree of freedom. Okay, but practically that is not the case. So these are the 4 degree of freedom is possible. So first it will be axial displacement. Axial displacement means elongation or contraction due to the axial load. Second will be the transverse displacement. Transverse displacement means vertical deflection. Now vertical deflection will be there due to the sinking of support or the loading condition. Okay. Third is bending or the flexural displacement. So due to the loading condition, it may have the bending effect. Okay. And fourth will be the twisting effect. So these are the 4 degree of freedom system. Okay, this is the multi-degree of freedom system. So earlier what we have discussed, that is for the single degree of freedom. But practically what we are having, we may have the axial displacement, transverse displacement, your flexural displacement, and the twisting effect. Okay, so for all that 4 condition, we have to derive the concept of flexibility and stiffness. Now we will proceed one by one. So for that case, this is the AB beam. A is fixed and B it is have the 4 types of displacement, whereas the cross section of this particular bar or member it is same. EI is same. Okay. Now first unknown, it will be axial displacement. Second will be the transverse displacement. Third will be your bending or the flexural displacement. And the fourth one, it is the torsional or the twist. Okay. सेम कॉन्सेप्ट यू आर रिक्वायर्ड फॉर द युनिट नंबर 4. ओके, हे युनिट नंबर 4 मध्ये पण आपल्याला लागणार आहे. समजून घ्या, कोणताही फ्री एंड असेल स्ट्रक्चरचा, सो दॅट फ्री एंड इट विल हॅव द 4 काइंड ऑफ डिस्प्लेसमेंट. Okay, maximum these 4 kinds of displacements are seen in a structure, not more than this. Okay, now we will discuss one by one. So first it will be the axial displacement. Okay, now here, so at point B we have applied the axial load. One bar is there, at that particular bar the axial load is applied, and suppose that axial load is P1. If the axial load is applied P1, then what about the elongation? What is the elongation formula? If the beam is prismatic or member is prismatic, it is subjected to the axial load. Axial load असेल एखाद्या मेंबर वरती, तर त्याचे इलॉंगेशन किंवा ऍक्सियल डिस्प्लेसमेंटचा फॉर्म्युला काय आहे सांगा. So this is the basic concept. What is the formula and what is the hint? Hint is SOM unit number 1. Delta L is given by elongation or contraction due to the axial load. सांगा, SOM मध्ये झालेला आहे. Delta L or delta is given by the formula simple stress, simple strain. What is the formula? कोण सांगेल? The formula is PL divided by AE. PL divided by AE. Okay, आठवते का बघा? Stress is directly proportional to the strain. E constant. Okay. Then strain is delta L by L and stress is P by A. So the elongation or contraction or the axial displacement, त्यालाच काय म्हणतो आपण? Axial displacement. If the load is axial, then the displacement will be axial displacement and is given by the formula PL by AE. Now this is the displacement we know. Now what we have to find out? We have to find out the axial flexibility. आपल्याला काय find out करायची? We have to find out the axial flexibility. And what is the axial flexibility? It is the displacement caused by the unit force. So this is the formula of the displacement. So whenever displacement formula is written when your force is equal to 1, that is the flexibility. Now tell me what is the here axial flexibility? काय असेल सांगा using that formula. Axial flexibility काय असेल? Displacement due to the unit force. What will be the formula? सांगा. What is flexibility? Delta is equal to axial displacement is given by the formula delta is equal to PL by AE. What is flexibility? Displacement caused by the unit force. Means we have to write down the formula of displacement. This is the formula. What is the flexibility? Replace force by 1 kilonewton. म्हणजे P ला काय करायचंय? 1 नी रिप्लेस करायचंय. म्हणजे राहिलं काय? P will be 1. So flexibility will be L divided by AE. Flexibility will be L by AE. Okay. So that is the axial flexibility here. So delta is equal to suppose P1 L by AE. Okay. Ordinate 1 is given. That's why P1 or else PL by AE. So the axial flexibility will be L by AE because axial flexibility is given by displacement caused by the unit force. So replace P1 with 1. So 1 into L, that will be L. L by AE. Now tell me what is the axial stiffness? Axial stiffness काय असेल सांगा. Axial stiffness. आवाज येतोय? महेश आवाज येतोय का?
हो सर.
सांगा. आपल्याला काय माहिती आहे? फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी आणि स्टिफनेस इनवर्स आहेत. जर ऍक्सियल फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी असेल L by AE.
AE by L.
Yes, AE by L. Very good. So the axial stiffness will be AE by L. So these concepts are very, very important for your competitive exam point of view. Okay. So when the displacement is axial, displacement is given by PL by AE and the axial flexibility is given by L by AE and the stiffness inverse of this AE by L. This is the first kind of displacement. Okay. Next will be transverse displacement. Transverse displacement. Now tell me when this displacement will be the transverse, under which condition we can observe the transverse displacement. Whereas we have concluded axial displacement कधी असेल? When a member it is subjected to the axial load. When the member is subjected to the axial load. Okay. Now tell me when transverse displacement will be seen. Yes. When the transverse displacement will be seen. Under which condition transverse displacement will be seen. Okay. So just go through this point, transverse displacement, and in the next session tell me what are the conditions for the transverse displacement. Okay, we will back to our next session at 11:45. Okay, thank you.